Frank Tasker and his theories on pigeon throat structure. Frank Tasker, 1918 to 2007, was one of the most influential and well-known pigeon racers and breeders in Britain during the 20th century. He was a dominant force in the sport for over 50 years and made major contributions to breeding techniques and racing strategies. Among his most lasting legacies was popularizing the theory that a pigeon's throat structure could be analyzed to determine its respiratory capacity and potential as a racer. This throat theory became a cornerstone of Tasker's breeding program and had a major impact on pigeon breeding worldwide. Tasker's background. Frank Tasker became involved with pigeons as a boy in Yorkshire in the 1920s. His interest was sparked by watching pigeons flying over the moors near his home. In his teenage years he began keeping pigeons himself and started racing them regionally. Showing a keen eye for quality birds even early on, Tasker won his first major race at age 17 in 1935. This early success drove him to intensify his study of pigeon genetics and breeding methods. After serving in the RAF during World War II, Tasker returned to Yorkshire and became a full-time pigeon specialist. He opened a pigeon supply shop that also sold birds he had bred. Tasker amassed numerous racing victories and breeding awards over the next decades. He became renowned for his ability to breed champion racers consistently. The demand for Tasker's birds became immense, with buyers coming from across Britain and beyond. Developing the throat theory. As Tasker refined his breeding approach in the 1950s and 60s, he began focusing heavily on the structure of pigeons' throats. He believed there were clear links between the shape and features of the throat and a bird's potential for success in racing. Tasker felt that a pigeon's throat, specifically the fleshy curtain at the very back, provided clues to its respiratory capacity. Through extensive observation and trial and error, Tasker developed guidelines for analyzing the throat curtain. He determined the ideal shape was a very thin, perfectly straight and vertically oriented line at the center of the curtain. Tasker believed this indicated maximum respiratory efficiency and lung capacity in a pigeon. Any imperfections like width, crookedness, asymmetry or irregular lines were believed to detract from aerobic potential. Tasker graded throats on a 10-point scale, with 10 representing the perfect, hair-thin central line. He insisted prime breeding cocks should score a 10, while hens could be more leniently graded down to 7 or 8 points if their other attributes balanced out. Tasker prioritized the throat above factors like beak length and cere size that other breeders focused on. He felt only birds with excellent throat conformation should be bred from. Influence and adoption. As Tasker's reputation grew, more and more pigeon enthusiasts sought out his advice and theories. He wrote articles and gave lectures explaining the nuances of his throat analysis system. Tasker stressed that throats should only be graded in adult pigeons in peak condition, as factors like age and molting could distort the structure. His guidelines shaped how many breeders selected and paired their birds. One key aspect of Tasker's throat theory was the emphasis on horizontal fret marks. He determined that pronounced lines running across the throat curtain were a sign of strain from the stresses of racing and training. Tasker warned that birds completing a season with such marks should be retired as breeders or racers, as they indicated diminished potential. This significantly impacted culling practices. While Tasker had his critics, many top pigeon racers integrated his throat grading technique into their selection process. They believed it improved their odds of breeding champion racers. Even after Tasker's death in 2007, his throat theory remained influential worldwide. The basic principles he defined continued shaping breeding programs on every continent. Points of contention. Despite its popularity, aspects of Tasker's throat theory have been disputed over the decades. Some pigeon specialists argued that the throat curtain alone did not provide enough insight into a bird's total respiratory efficiency and capacity. They felt other physiological signs were equally if not more important indicators to consider. There was also debate regarding whether every individual with a prime throat shape would necessarily perform well in races. Critics felt other genetic factors still played a key role, and that a pigeon's will to win mattered as well. They also pointed out that injuries or illnesses could hinder racers with ideal throats. Additionally, some modern researchers have questioned how definitive the link between throat structure and lung capacity truly is. They suggest more study is needed to demonstrate a clear correlation. This has led some in the pigeon racing community to view Tasker's theory as helpful but not fully proven. Legacy. In spite of some unresolved questions, Frank Tasker's throat analysis approach left an indelible mark on the pigeon breeding world. The concepts he set in motion influenced breeding programs and race strategies globally, shaping the competitive landscape. While the validity of his theory is still debated, it signaled a major shift toward more anatomical selection factors versus just performance results or visual traits. Tasker helped establish pigeon throat structure as a critical consideration for breeders seeking to maximize aerobic potential in their birds. The grading scale and criteria he defined remain deeply ingrained in breeding practices today. While new insights may complement or modify Tasker's guidelines in the future, he pioneered a more scientific, genetics-oriented mode of breeding focused on quantifiable traits. In doing so, he reduced the role of chance and superstition in managing pedigrees. Frank Tasker's lifelong study of champion pigeon genetics bore fruit in the throat theory that became his most enduring contribution. This innovative doctrine fundamentally altered breeders' perspectives and selection processes for generations to come. Tasker's work made the pigeon racing community more keenly aware of the links between anatomy, physiology, and performance. I'm an experienced ex-pigeon racer from England, and I can offer valuable insights and guidance on all aspects of pigeon racing, from breeding to racing. During my racing days, I managed a small team of no more than 70 pigeons, including stock, young birds, and old birds. It was not uncommon for me to send as few as 6 birds to a race and still secure the top 3 positions out of up to 2,500 pigeons in my club and federation. My race distances typically ranged up to 300 miles, and I consistently achieved top 5 placements in my club. My expertise extends to the art of selecting excellent breeders, including evaluating pigeons based on their eye-sign characteristics. I firmly believe that true champions can only be bred from top-quality stock, and I can guide you in identifying and acquiring such pigeons. I understand that many pigeons for sale are advertised based on their lineage or pedigree, but I emphasize the importance of assessing the bird itself rather than relying solely on paperwork. As part of my offer, I invite you to share photos of your pigeons, including their eye-sign and wing characteristics. I'll provide you with free advice on racing and breeding based on my extensive experience and knowledge. Additionally, I will share auction links to high-quality breeding birds that have the potential to produce winners in your loft. Here's what you can expect to receive from me: a comprehensive Word document containing valuable insights and strategies for successful pigeon racing, including specific racing methods for both old and young birds, as well as general advice. Private YouTube videos sent to your email, covering various aspects of pigeon racing, from breeding to race preparation. Detailed recommendations on supplements and additives to add to your pigeon's drinking water, with scientific evidence supporting their effectiveness. Similar products are used by professional athletes and racehorses to enhance performance. Assurance that your pigeons will race home faster, provided that you have quality birds to begin with. While I can provide guidance, it's essential to start with pigeons of good genetic quality. Guidance on feeding schedules and methods, tailored from Sunday to Saturday, to optimize your pigeon's performance. The understanding that there are no big secrets or magical products that guarantee success in pigeon racing. Instead, success hinges on developing a racing system that suits your loft and pigeons. I'm committed to providing full support even after you receive this information, as I want to see you succeed in pigeon racing. Feel free to reach out if you have any questions or need further assistance. Remember, the key to winning in pigeon racing lies in knowledge, dedication, and continuous improvement.